Thank you for joining us today. Would you mind sharing what your name is?
My name is Jayha.
Okay. Where are you from and where do you go to college?
I'm from Northern California, specifically Sacramento, and I go to University of California, Los Angeles, aka UCLA.
Go Bruins, what are you studying?
I am studying public affairs with a double major also in African American studies with a minor in labor studies.
Perfect. What has receiving a Pell Grant made possible for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a first generation student, and I was raised by a single mother who was a domestic caregiver for most of my life. And unfortunately, I knew when I was in high school that I would get 0% from my family. So Pell Grant has not only made it possible for me to go to a higher ed institute in California, but also for me to be able to be comfortable and get access to my basic needs, housing, food, etc., paying for laundry, things like that. And it's been really important to not just being able to afford to go to college, but also my success at UCLA as well. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your journey so far. NCAN recently released a report on how if the maximum Pell Grant had kept up with rising costs for rent and food, it would be over $700 today. Would you mind sharing how would those $700 support you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what people don't realize is when you are attending any higher ed institute is that there's a lot of other funds besides, just housing and tuition. There's a lot of hidden costs to attending any higher ed institute like UCLA. Every class you take, there could be hundreds and hundreds of textbook dollars. You can use the Pell Grant for that. Laundry, any other essential basic needs. That's incredibly important. And that $700, that could pay for at least a year long's worth of school books for me to take my classes and be able to succeed, because you can't do well in these classes if you don't have access to textbooks for studying materials, practice, etc.
I agree. Textbooks are definitely one of those hidden costs that we don't really talk about as much, especially as first-gen students affording those types of materials to attend our classes. Thank you so much for sharing. What do you want lawmakers to know about Pell Grant recipients like you?
Yeah, I want lawmakers to understand not only how people like my story is not unique. For example, at UCLA, 28% of our students receive the Pell Grant. That is almost a third of UCLA's undergraduate student body. So we're talking about around 9 to 10,000 students who are receiving the Pell Grant. And on the UC wide, nearly a third of UC students across the system receive the Pell Grant. This is crucial to creating a more educated California, because most of our students are, California residents. This is crucial to college affordability and economic mobility for our students in the state of California. And this is not something that's unique just to California as well. So I think it's really crucial that we think about this is something that's happening across the nation, and it's able to help us not just go to college, but also be successful and enter our workforce prepared and being able to contribute to our country.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing and being with us today.
Thank you so much.